Welcome to the SmartLink Network how-to video series by Weathermatic. In today's demonstration, we're going to be looking at building a flow report so that we can look at the flow history of a system and validate whether or not flow has or has not been functioning. All right, so I've got two controllers up here, the SL9696, and on this here we have the SL1600. So starting with the 9696, I'm going to open the flow menu option. So we can see we have a 1.5 inch flow sensor with a 60-second line fill time, 60-second sample time. The flow shutdown mode is set to per zone, and we have a leak detect of 5 minutes. And as we look under the running average here, you can see the running average of the zones in the last 30 days, and that whether or not they are enabled or disabled for flow shutdown. And then the limits I have set, whether the low flow or the high flow. I typically am not worried so much about the low flow limit. I usually set 1 gallon per minute. I don't typically use tolerances, but you're more than welcome to. The high flow limit here, if we were to exceed that value, that we would shut the system down as a result. All right, and then we take a look at the 1600 controller. We go again to flow. As you can see, we have a 1 inch flow sensor setting at 120-second line fill time, 60-second sample time. Flow shutdown mode is system. And then we have leak detect at 5 gallons per minute. And when we look down to the zones, flow shutdown mode is disabled. We're not seeing any running average or current average. So the system may have flow, it may not. It may have something that's not functioning properly. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take a look at the system's history using the reporting options. So I'm going to go back to the 9600, and we're going to go to reports. I'm going to select the controller. Now, by default, we usually have run times, high and low temperatures here. You would just close down your current reporting items by clicking on the box to the right, which I don't have any items that I'm reporting, so I don't have to worry about that at this point in time. I'm going to go ahead and select the 9696 controller, all zones individually, and I want to see gallons. We'll add that to the report, and this is going to show us historically what the system's been running here. So as you can see from the timeline, February 18th through March 4th, which obviously we haven't hit that yet, but you can see the flow here. It's all separated by colors and how many gallons were used at the duration or during the time that that zone was active. You can pick the last 30 days, the last 3 months, the last 12 months. So as you can just kind of take a look at everything that's going on within the system. And as you can see historically, we've been running flow for some time here. Now these are very small here, but as you can see, we have had flow. Now the 1600, we don't know, we see that it has flow settings, but we don't know whether or not it actually has flow. So again, we can go to reports, and let's take a look at the system historically. Now, this item or this particular controller does have reporting items that are coming in by default, and we're going to have to close all of those out once this page loads. So I'm just giving me a moment here, get this page loaded. It's a lot of information that it's going to be loading here since there are so many controllers on this particular site. So let me dismiss this. And basically, we just need to close out all these reporting items by clicking on this small box with the X. And we will remove all of these items. All right, perfect. Now we're going to pick our controller. Let's see, we want controller 4.1. All zones individually. The source is the SmartLink controller, and we're going to pick gallons and add. Now we saw that the system has flow sensor set up, but it may not actually have a flow sensor at all. So let's go ahead and take a look at the last 30 days, last 3 months, last 12 months. So far, we're not seeing any information here. And then I'm going to go back a couple of years here. Oh, let's go ahead and just pick on the year. Let's go back to 2020, January 1st. And we'll get this uploaded here. Now, as you can see, we have no flow. So historically, this system more than likely has never had flow, even though it looks like flow system has been set up. So that's just one way you can take a look and verify whether or not the system has flow. If it does in fact have a master valve and flow sensor installed and you've never seen any information, then you're going to want to look at our diagnostics videos on how to troubleshoot the air card, the communication cable, or the flow insert itself, how you can test that so that you can figure out why you're not seeing any flow information. But at this point, I would have to say the controller 4-1, the 1600, has never had flow. We've not seen anything from it historically. But I will want to have someone go out into the field and verify whether or not there is a sensor in place and whether or not it's connected. And again, look at how we diagnose. I have several videos on YouTube on how to troubleshoot the air card, check your communication cable, and test the flow sensor insert. So please check those out. If you have any questions, please contact us at support@weathermatic.com or call us in at 888-484-3776. Thank you.